Ladies and gentlemen, glad to have you back on the show, Not So Complicated. A show brought to you by the Innovation Consortium, like I always say, the only show that breaks down everything to a layman's understanding. And today we have chosen to put our buttocks down, indeed, for a layman's understanding. Glad to have you back. And I'm here with my main crew, the only crew that defines Not So Complicated. Are on my right, Daniel Walusimbi, the only complicated guy. The Ahunya Michike. Then the main man himself, Bobon Monarch, and who is my main guest as well for today. And then Dimama, the Joker, the only guy who praises a beer like nobody else. Boss, we'll forget. And then we have Steve, the only man who has always been striking against going to saloons. So thank you so very much. Relax, sit back, and learn with us. Yeah, and like we always bring to you only the best, and the best, like I say. And today's topic is about dryers. You've really seen loads of dryers. We have a couple of dryers everywhere. Now we are here to discuss about dryers, what exactly they do, why dryers. Sit back and...
The sound dryers.
Oh, come on. Yes, there are dryers as well. Yes, and my main guest today is Bobon Monarch. So, Baron, let's talk about dryers. What are dryers?
Basically, dryer is anything which removes water or moisture out of a given body or a given substance.
Oh, yes.
My friend has talked about an air dryer. It's a dryer because it basically removes the moisture from the hair.
Water.
And they take our monies just for that.
Trust me.
You have lost a lot.
You can come in Kasana we carry that. So basically, if you ask me in my late term language, be a dryer basically removes water or moisture from a given substance. This can be agriculture or can be any other product.
So you mean the salon dryer, it removes just water from the hair?
It dries the hair. That is all.
And money is chopped.
And you pay.
I'm going to cut off their Kameza money.
That's right, Mzee had it. Back in the day, that was like a pistol.
Yes, and basically, if you start cut dryer, it just blows hot air to make sure all the water in your hair basically evaporates or raises up and your hair is okay.
Oh,
So to me, that's a dryer.
So anything that needs drying is dried by a dryer.
By a dryer,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, see me becoming a hip-hop king. Okay, and why dryers?
Basically, dryers are needed, and basically to be able to avoid either any stuff rotting. For the case of hair, as my friend, I hear not getting stuck on the head. I don't know whether that's okay. That's a good English of stuck. And then basically, you're able to dry and keep. You're able to dry things and export. So basically, white dryers, they create a longer shelf life whereby things can stay for longer without getting spoiled. And then the dryers are designed to make sure they increase the process. Especially if it is industrial. Let me see, you dry tomatoes on a higher level. You can't use the conventional ways, yes. But basically, I think it's not a complex thing. Even a katandalo is a dryer. Akebikopo, akebijanja. You know in the village where you pour. You have a dishwasher. That a katandalo is a dryer which gets the sun directly onto it. So you lay it on a katanda, things dry.
So you mean when I tell somebody to come and stand in here and get the sun, so he's drying himself?
If he has water, if he has water on him,
So this cameraman is in a dryer, right?
he has an umbrella.
Big dryer.
So the dryers are really needed because one is, I think the easy way to see it like there are seasons when you have a lot of rain and you can't put your things on a katanda. You can't pour them out. So you basically need a dryer to dry when it is raining. So you have to keep things drying when it is raining. That's why you need dryers, a bit improved dryers. And then you also need to be able to keep food from the season of abundance to the season of scarcity. So you may need to, like, they give it the best example everyone knows are beans. The dried beans can last for almost a year.
Oh, so you dry the excess food.
The excess food, the excess beans you're not going to consume, dry them, keep them.
Oh, yes.
And the other thing would be
Coffee.
exportation. Coffee.
For dry coffee.
Yeah, I think for dry coffee also. But then there is the exportation. There are people who can export fresh things, but most things we export, 95% are
Dried up.
dried.
Oh,
So drying basically increases on the value of a product.
oh yes.
Yes.
Oh.
And reduces on spoilage.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's why we need dryers.
Okay, thank you so very much for the elaboration, and I hope our dear viewers and listeners have really understood why we need dryers. But now, I would like to know, I understand you have made a couple of dryers, so why the Innovation Consortium dryers? Because there are lots and lots of them on the
Let him
market.
first tell us about the dryers. There's a certain dryer I want to ask about.
Okay, go on.
Now I'm very eager to speak about one dryer. I know.
Tell us about the
This man has
dryer.
spent lots of money
Yeah,
paying for
they've
women.
taken a lot of
I
money
think why
just in the name
everyone,
of dryers.
but I think why everyone wants to talk about the dryer, maybe your farmers. And I'll answer your issues. There are types of dryers. As I say, the best drying is a katandalo. You put a shelf pour, even on a concrete, you pass the best drying.
The problem where we live, we don't have a katana.
Yes, please.
Okay, I understand.
Much
Then,
saloon money.
But do you have what to dry in?
then
Boxers.
what they call it, a katandalo is a solar dry, but in a basic way. The type of went further to
It's
say,
using the natural process.
some people say solar dry and they think it's complex. Katandalo is solar dry itself. But now I think that we should say unimproved solar dryer, whereby you try to enhance the investment of the sun by putting a caveat around.
To create that.
So a solar dryer, the solar dryer. Then there's an improved solar dryer with a caveat around it, tapping the sun and drying inside the closed chamber.
So wait. Nze atasoma science. Solar manyo ino kufuna battery. Noita solar.
Solo inokubeera n'omusana.
Banayo omuntu
Solar
wawansi.
is a fancy name for sun.
For sun.
Banayo omuntu wawansi ndi wano nkulwanirira. Wedda amanyi bya battery.
Anyway, it's basically, as they have said, basically the sun, as you said, my friend. Then we have what we call electrical dryers. These basically use what people know electricity. Like they have elements and fans. So those we call them electrical dryers. Then we have what we call biomass dryers. And biomass dryers, the word sounds complex by biomass, but the big thing is oruku. Obomuti is biomass. Firewood is biomass. But
They're just terms.
people want to put
You're complicating everything.
to build this big term that
Biomass iruku.
biomass is oruku.
Think about that budget.
Yes.
So there is biomass dryers where I use like firewood, other organic. Basically, biomass is using anything organic. Briquettes is biomass. So those ones they use that to generate the heat and dry. Then we have to me which I say the most advanced. I don't know the most advanced what they call freezer dryer.
Still stuck somewhere.
It's stuck.
Wait, you said burning anything organic?
Oh, yeah, burning thing organic. Anything
Burning cow dung?
is yes
And
biomass.
burning shit?
It's biomass. It's biomass. So basically anything organic. And
Forgive our viewers.
so there was
Forgive us.
we proceed.
Proceed.
Then we have freezer dryers. I think freezer dryer.
How do you freeze and dry?
Now these ones that I'm saying they're a bit complex. Let me just simplify. Not so complicated. Let me uncomplicate it. Basically, with kind of drying, you freeze a given item at a given temperature. You know ice, fridge. Now you imagine, we put there a substance you want, what kind of and you freeze it. But you freeze it up to a given temperature and the pressure inside. Basically, you freeze it until you see when you put ice out.
So regulated the freeze.
There's freezing, yeah. When you put ice out and then you see evaporation on ice, you're supposed to freeze your substance until that point, where after freezing starts what? Evaporating. So that process of evaporating, so it says it's drying. So basically, that's what we call freeze drying.
Aren't you going to have our viewers
freeze drying
evaporating
themselves.
Very simplified for them. When you saw Mortal Kombat, when Sub-Zero said, ah! That was freeze dry.
I want to talk about the benefits of all in brief.
And which ones have you done?
I've done the biomass more and electrical more. But for the Katandal, it's cheaper, but you're controlled by the environment around. When it rains, you have to cover, rush, you know it, but it's the cheapest one. And the good thing, we are in the tropics, so we have sun. A few cases, you have abundant sun. So a few cases, it rains. So it is cheaper, but basically it doesn't control the drying well. Then the solar dryer, you basically, we any answer Katandalo. The basic is solar dryer is a better improvement of a Katandalo. You cover a chivera around, improve the airflow, and then make sure the heat goes into pathway cavera and holds it inside. So that is better than the other one because you have enhanced efficiency is higher than a Katandalo. The eco dryers, you basically have uniform drying and you can dictate the time it takes to dry because you don't want to set everything.
You can increase,
Increase, reduce, so you can set it
It's
automatically
within
and
your
leave it.
control.
You do everything you control and simply walk away. The only change is, it's expensive, it's not everywhere at the moment. Then when you go to the biomass, it's most important that most of us within our tropics or in Uganda, we know most people around is the biomass. And cool, firewood,
so
cow dung.
burning bricks is that's biomass.
That's a
It's cool.
yes, biomass.
Oh, okay.
So but the change is it's not controllable very well. But the good thing, you can scale it well also. You can scale it on a bigger scale. For the freezer dryer, what I didn't talk about the rest that said the food, whatever you're drying, because you don't control it very well, what comes out doesn't really. It comes out, you can eat it, but some parameters you lost them a bit. The freezer dryer is the most expensive thing, but everything stays intact. Like everything stays almost fresh. Its color, its appearance, even the taste.
Oh, okay.
So that's a brief.
Thank you so very much, Baron, for breaking it down for us. Now, I would like to know why the Innovation Consortium Driers. Tell us your story of the first dryer you made and what pushed you into doing dryers. Give us a brief.
You say you call them Innovation Consortium Driers. People began check on Google Innovation Consortium Driers. I think we're saying Innovation Consortium because we are Innovation Consortium.
Exactly.
Other, if you go to Chest Consortium Driers, you may not find a dryer there. Unless you go to our YouTube channel, you find our dryers there, our website. The first dryer I did was a lady in Kayunga, and she was drying pineapples.
Oh.
And she was I don't know where she, because she didn't tell us where she was exporting, but we signed up, and it was a biomass dryer. And this, we built a rocket trainer, which is a choto. A firewood, we just improved with the casing around it, but it's a choto. So you hit the hair using firewood, but the hair flows into a pipe so that no moisture enters into the hair. So that hot air goes into a room where she had put her pineapples on a tray.
Oh, so basically you burn.
Basically, you burn. By this time, other than cooking, let me say you're cooking food. Now you imagine you're eating air.
So you heat air.
So use the stream of hot air.
You eat the air, and then the stream of hot air goes into a room where pineapples are.
Dries the pineapple.
And then it goes out.
Then she packs.
Yeah, basically you other than okufumba emmere kusefulia kateka tadewo empewo gyoyocha ng'ogitambuza. Basically ofumba ate togenda girya ogitwala eri. Ate tuna kyuma kyokya empewo. I sell the machine which hits the air.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
but I don't sell air.
Okay, so how have you improved it? How many have you made? Different types? How have you come improving them? Tell us that journey, like you gave us for the silage and hay machine.
Yeah, what I could say was most dryers, the failure rate has been low, and luckily I think most times our first design works close to 90%. So I have built biomass dryers both on industrial level and on a smaller scale level. But they will differ. The one which I talked about, the pineapple, that was on a smaller scale level. Then we have built one for drying ginger, but this was electrical.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was drying ginger. We have also built solar dryers, but also on a smaller scale. We have also, the biggest dryer we have built was a biomass dryer, and we are using what they call money briquettes. I don't know, some of you know them. Like when Bank of Uganda, money gets old, they shred it and compact it to make a block.
Briquettes, yes.
So when we are designing that thing, we were using those money briquettes as source of energy.
Telling the new ones that the Bank of Uganda burns money.
Money.
Yeah, I remember the first time I saw the first sack, I got scared. I said, this is what we all fight for. At the end, I'm burning it.
Going to burn it.
I was burning it. So with that
What
was,
dry?
I was drying what we call half bricks. And the why I'm saying it was industrial, we are supposed to dry 50,000 half bricks within a 48-hour period.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so we were drying 50,000. That's the biggest we have done.
That's quite a task.
That's on industrial level now. Yes.
Where is
But the rest are small.
that dry?
It is in Kamonkoli.
Yeah.
Uganda clays.
We did it that side, Ghana case Kamonkoli. Yes.
So Uganda clays is burning our money. Is using our
I don't know whether they're still using it because it's about 11 years. Yeah, but it was an interesting journey. That's a dryer where we really all of us tested what they call drying on the industrial level. But it worked. Yes.
Okay, let's talk about.
and it's still working.
I don't know about that part. Because
They have never contacted you back. That has failed.
they never call me for services. I don't know why. Why they got a better person.
Build good machines, they don't need service.
Tell me about the challenges you have faced. In the first dryers that you made, challenges you've come are facing. In the long run.
Surprisingly, it's a very funny. The only thing I would say, it sounds technical. When you design a dryer, you have this illusion that you send the air down, the hot air, and then the hot air starts rising up, passing through the things, and then you suck it up. When you start theoretically the class, it makes sense. But when you go into deep, practically, when you go think about it critically, so deep, you really just discover it was wrong. What I forgot to say, even almost an oven is a dryer. The problem, it has very high temperature, but it's a dryer. It's a dryer. And where I got the biggest challenge was before you discover that, you would heat, and then you discover the first tray bottom is dry. But as the air rising, you remember it's getting damper, heavier and damper. Then before you know, the air condenses on the trays above and starts recording back. So you realize the trays are not drying.
Air loses it in the.
Yeah, because it's further used, it would go rise because it is hot on the first tray down.
Yeah.
And then you push in. When you start pushing, the second tray will dry. Then the third tray is getting damper and damper. So the air gets heavier. By the time you reach the first tray, the air is too heavy, so it's condensed. You're creating rainfall. Now the rainfall comes
Pulling what you're drying.
it comes back on what they don't dried. So that's one of the challenges we faced. And later we discovered maybe we shall share it freely, but mostly dryers on a smaller scale, you need to be pushing hot air on the side. So that when it is the opposite end, it just condenses and water flows back without passing through your fruits. Then for the industrial level, the design we are working on was you either put the trays on the sides and leave a gap in the middle. So when your air comes from top, it is pushed down. So when it's pushed down, in the middle, where there is a gap like a corridor, the air is sucked coming back, a cold air. So basically, all levels on the tray get dry uniformly. For the Kamonko, the first time the top layer got cracks. They have bricks had cracks on it. But it worked. The only change I think we got industrial level was the material. The thing would work, but the maintenance rate was high.
You used a lot of.
We used a lot of steel. but the heating really was so high that you people one day try to burn money. I'm not advising you to burn, but that money can burn.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it is hotter than even firewood.
Yes, thank you, our dear viewers and listeners. And like we tell you, we are the problem solvers. So, Baron, give it to us. How do we help these people?
About drying, I'll be honest with you that you need almost every farmer needs it now, because we all had seasons of abundance, and season of abundance things get wasted, we throw them away, and then when season of scarcity come, they talk about hunger. Can you imagine people dying of hunger in
A few months back,
the part of Africa?
yet in a few months back, we had lots of
Scarcity, yeah.
Oh,
So we have food basket. So we need dryers. So that is season of plenty, we dry.
Okay.
So even mangoes, beans, because people have seen now we are season of mangoes at the moment. And trust me, all of us are aware that in the next 1 month, mangoes won't be
won't have
anywhere.
mangoes.
Not saying that all of them were consumed, but a bigger percentage would be wasted. So we need dryers. When to come to us is we can make for you dryers in any category, whether small or large scale. At the moment, we are trying to develop a freezer dryer, but for the solar, akatandalo,
Choto.
solar, akatandalo, biomass, electrical, we have mastered those 4.
Oh, sure.
And we are on our way mastering the freezer dryer.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so please come to us. Dryers will make you money.
Sure. Yeah, so thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And like we always bring to you the best. I really understand that we have really broken it down for you. And I understand that each and every one amongst us needs a dryer. Each and every farmer needs a dryer. Trust me, if you go to Nakaselo right now and you see how much mangoes, how much oranges, how much almost of everything, pineapples are getting, wasted, you can really wonder. So please, trust me, you need a dryer. And they are not very much expensive. Remember, we are the Innovation Consortium and we are the problem solvers. So I really understand and believe that each one of us needs a dryer in whatever category you're in. So we're going to part short, ladies and gentlemen. On my right,
Yes.
the
one and only. Nedda kangutwale.
Yakubukidde dda.
Da.
Yes, ono yali amawolo.
Kaba kube hit.
Alowooza ogiyita eggolu.
Eggolu. Amawolo.
Agwa amawolo. Let's part short.
Of course.
Drying.
Yeah, by the way, starting from there, when you need to come up with something of how we can dry our leftovers. There are always and everything. Yes. But on the other hand, I have something itching me. I need to find a way of how I can assist cut on the Akameza money. For the hair dryer and everything. Is there something that you can do for us about the hair dryer, that hair problem? At least now I've said from somewhere, at least I know they have told me that dryers are they are obvious and easy. So for that I am coming. But I just want also to remind you again that you think it, we produce it.
Exactly.
I sign out.
Only fake cancer.
Akameza bachakukuba. Bajayiya yakapya. Bajayiya yakapya. Biru Teka is supposed to be crazy. Drying is an old technology. I didn't really check into Google when it started, but I would say, I think since ever man started, or became on their own, because people have been drying things in more conventional, one storing them. The only difference now, things have changed. We are too many, and our seasons of plenty are shorter, and the scarcity are getting longer. So basically, I would say,
Climate change is bringing that.
I hope it's true. So what I basically saying that please come for the dryer and see what you can do. Even cassava can be dried.
Oh,
Yes. I forgot to answer my friend of hair dryer. If you can't afford the hair dryer cost, just get a katadala. Let her leo that katadalo. Let her leo the katadalo. That is you.
that's suicide. How about you, Mama the joke? Inako.
host abantu balina ebizibu. Okay, host abantu balina ebizibu naye no, the fact that we are a solutions hub, let me give my friend there, my brother, some solutions. You're tired of hair, get a monk.
A Shaolin monk.
Otherwise, I think Akames has been around from the times of the dinosaurs. So, you either set of a monk or Biseyo. But otherwise, Byron, and I know the other viewers out there, have you tried drying beer? Wake up in the morning and you lick your chibelaga.
I'm not surprised.
Then you,
I'm not surprised.
you know, you give it 2 licks in the morning. Yes, you rush to work. In the evening you come back and you lick some 2 nails.
Talk about
Over to Stevie.
At our viewers, you've seen where it has started from. Tandikide hair dryer nakatandalo no kwani komukazi. We have come to leaking beer. But anyways, drying is one of the only things that we could have discovered by mistake. It has no inventor as per se. The humans must have walked upon dried fruits in the jungles where they were and learnt the trick. So, if that was before fire. If people before fire were drying fruits, why don't we?
Maybe to add on that. Also, a drying is not a new concept in Uganda because abantu ngabekaza.
Onina ali global fund ne yekaza. Ninako.
Your disclaimer.
Wait. Ninako.
Bade saga.
It's more of an escape route. Nyagamuno,
We're drying osirike.
Yeah, thank you so very much, our dear viewers and listeners. And like we always tell you, we are the Innovation Consortium. We bring to you only the biggest innovations. And like you saw my crew today, it was crazy and fun. The most humorous show, like I always tell you, we don't get so much serious. But again, we deliver the biggest and the biggest, like I say, the biggest content to you. Sit back, relax, and always endeavor to learn with us. Yeah, bakubanja. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Endeavor to subscribe to our YouTube channel, always at Innovation Consortium. Endeavor to follow us on all our social media handles at Innovation Consortium, everywhere, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everywhere at Innovation Consortium. And always check out our YouTube channel because the best is yet to come through. Peace out. Brian Lania Hast. Blessed.